afternoon or good evening, and welcome to BSTV. I'm Pete Bingham, and tonight we are bringing you the Grand Touring Club Cup for Season 2, Round 9 from Phillip Island, which should be a great circuit for the cars that we've got for you this evening. Also in the booth with me this evening is Tyler Newitt. Good evening, Tyler.
Hello, Pete.
And on camera and doing all the technical stuff as always, Sam Boozen. Good evening.
Good evening, Pete, Tyler, and everybody.
So, if you are watching this, not on a replay, that means you are of the sensible human being variety, not the sheep that we seem to have in the UK at the minute, all flocking towards the football, just because we are trying to relive memories from 1966. We can make our own memories even in 2021. By doing this wonderful GTCC series race at Phillip Island. It's going to be pretty good. The field, as you'd probably expect, given the furore of what's happening with the football, is a bit reduced today. And the Le Mans series, as Sam kindly reminded before, is also on today. So we've only got 15 drivers at the moment. Others are joining very slowly, but I think this is probably it now because we are in qualifying. I'll go through what happened last time and who's at the top of which of the leagues that we've got going on here later on. But Phillip Island, Tyler, and GTE cars, always a blast.
Phillip Island's always a blast in any car. It's one of the best tracks on iRacing. It's really one of the gems that iRacing has that you won't find on a lot of other racing sims. It's obviously traditionally a V8 Supercars track, so those of us who participate in the V8 ESC are very familiar with it, but it just has a really nice rhythm and flow to it. It's one of those types of tracks, you head screaming down through the first corner into the southern loop, and it's all about kind of balancing on the limit of adhesion and making your car stick all the way around, and it's the same down through Honda, Siberia, Lukey Heights, and into the final two corners. It's all about maximizing grip all the way around the lap, and these GTE cars with all their aero downforce and lots of mechanical grip as well, they'll love a track like this.
Yeah, and we're on board with JVZ at the minute as he's making his way around. Is he off the gas? It's hard to tell in the Corvette because you upshift at very low revs to get the maximum amount of power out of it, so he is actually racing it as he tucks it in here. I suppose do you want to talk us around the lap, Tyler, or?
Yeah, we're going. We've already missed a good part of it, but we're going into Siberia now. So this is kind of the back half of the course. It's a left and a right here. Both of these in the GTEs should be very much flat. You can see he's even keeping it to the right of the course, down or up, I should say, heading down into Lukey Heights here. And you're going to be hard on the brakes, but you want to be in a straight line before you do it, or else the car can really step out from under you. We'll probably see some people making mistakes through there. This left-hander is one of the toughest corners on the track because it really tightens up, and he dives into the pits, but otherwise he would be sailing it through the last corner near flat out. I'd imagine in the GTEs there's a little bit of a lift, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah, Yaz Not Yaz is probably going to be trying to do a lap. Last time, if you remember, somebody else was driving his car because he did remarkably well.
Well, he's currently put it on fourth place and the top AM driver, so I'm not certain it's not Yaz again in that car, but a nice line there through the southern loop. He'll head down through here into the left-hander that leads down to Honda corner. This will be flat, I believe, unless he's just lifting to position the car here, but no, he sails it out middle of the track and completely misses Honda corner, so no lap for Yaz.
Who's this? This is JVZ again. He's on an out lap now, so we might at least see the rest of the lap.
Yeah, just where we were with Yaz, picking up right where we left off. Really tight corner, a couple of those around here through Honda. You have to be hard on the brakes into Siberia. This is another one of those corners around here that tightens up on exit more than you would expect it to. And we've already covered this part of the lap with JVZ. He'll be flat out around here.
This is our curb cam. We always find one of these, or Sam always finds one for us. Always entertaining.
And clearly, Pete, I just want to say, benefiting from the lean grid is Ben Cullen, who sits atop the timing chart, ahead of equal laps from Paul Burgess and JVZ.
Oh yeah, they are literally identical. Yeah. I need to work on all of what Clyde usually says whenever I'm high up on a leaderboard for Ben Cullen at the minute. Nobody else is racing, and the grid is upside down and all that sort of stuff.
Nosebleed up there.
Yeah, we get a nosebleed. Yeah, that's another boring Clydeism. Clyde's probably dribbling into what was a full pint glass by now, because he's not got the self-restraint in order to not get hammered watching football. So don't think we'll see him on the YouTube chat. Ben says he does have a nosebleed. Oh dear. Here's Wobbly. You'll probably see Wobbly crash at the Southern Loop, Turn 3, Honda, Siberia. He'll crash at them all, I think.
Yeah, first outing in the series, I believe, for Wobbly.
Second one. He did a race earlier on in the season.
Did he? Okay.
He did, yeah. So let's just go through the standings. In the Pro, which are the cars with the green bits on. So the one we're looking at the minute, which is Stefan, has got orangey bits. That means he's in the AM class. The ones with the green windscreen banners, end tails on the rear spoiler. There we go. Adam's car, all greened up. Here's a Pro car. So top of the Pro at the minute is Ty Simons, who isn't here tonight, so he's giving away 3 points to other people. He's got 2,118 points. Paul Burgess is in second currently in the league. He's got 1,867 points and has got an enormous job to do if he wants to get anywhere near the top. But this will definitely help, and he's just pipped Send Cullen for first place, a provisional pole man. Then Chris Shaw is in third, who's done really, really well. He's good in every car he drives. He's one of those annoying human beings who is equally successful regardless of whatever the car is. He's on 1,690 points, so he's got a lot of work to do just to get to second place. And then in fourth, we have Martin Verschluven, who's not here tonight, clearly too obsessed with something else. And Stuart Dick in fifth, who also isn't here, although a lot of the asymmetric guys are. So that's your top five in Pro. In AM class, your top boy is Callum Mooney, and he has turned up tonight. He wants to protect his lead. 1,343 points. Barry van Englenhoven, also here tonight, although he's got some work to do to move up that leaderboard, is on 1,294. So that particular fight is nowhere near over. That is still all to play for. Third is Marcel Kempenaar with 1,240 points. And then Stefan Goebel, also here, on 1,227 points, with fifth being Baz Sluter, who's not here, on 1,203. So that particular class is very, very tight, isn't it, Tyler? It's there's only 143 points between first and fifth place. Yeah,
it's certainly up for grabs, and of course, everybody has done some off-roading there.
Oh, and a wall.
Yeah, everybody gets a drop round, so just because someone's not here tonight doesn't mean they're taking themselves out of the fight for the AM or the Pro Class title, although I think we know who the Pro Class champion is going to be, assuming he turns up for the remaining events. There is Yaz working his way down. Is that the front stretch? I think it is. Yep. Yeah. Into turn number one. Nary a lift in sight. And down through the southern loop. So Yaz still the top AM. He's been bumped a couple of places by improvements from pro drivers, including Adam Wright, who has jumped to the top by 4 1,000ths of a second over Paul Burgess. Marcus Bletz has also put himself into the top 5 with a 123.4. Half a second covers back to 9th place at the moment. That is Wobbly Kneecaps, who is the lowest placed of the BSTV esports drivers at the moment, sitting just a tiny bit behind Chris Shaw.
Don't worry, folks. If you see white cars on the broadcast, it's just because Sam's paint pack hasn't quite kicked in yet. It'll be fine when we get racing. Martin Versluven says he's done the LM24 today, and he's fallen asleep 3 times already. So let's see what Martin Versluven can do in the chat room, seeing as he's not going to be in the racing room.
And I'm not sure what LM24 stands for there. Obviously, the Le Mans 24 Hours is rights proprietary to R-Factor, I believe. So, of course, iRacing would never hold an official 24 Hours of Le Mans race.
Oh, definitely not. No, don't know what that is. Martin Brennan says the speeds look incredible. They are at a lick, aren't they? I mean, 123.15 it's lighting it up for sure.
And Paul Burgess has jumped back to the top by 3/100ths over Adam Wright. And both of them have entered the pits, so they'll put on some fresh rubber and some more fuel and give it another go. Ben Cullen in third is out on track. He is also within a 10th of the pole time. See what he does here. Wasn't a particularly great second sector, but was green in the first sector. The 24.6 is not going to cut it. He'll give it another go.
Good evening to Ryan Walker on the chat. I think Ben wanted the session stopped a few minutes ago when he was on top of it.
Yeah, well, fortunately for him, the world doesn't revolve around Ben.
Oh, he thinks it does.
Oh, we know.
Who's that? That's Marco Loer with a sign on the side of the car that says, "I am the black sheep."
Well, it is the black car among the VTS crew, so sticking to the theme there.
Yep, definitely. Wonder if the other one says it's a white sheep.
Well, I believe both Stefan and Marcus are in white Porsches, so... There's Marcus with the red accent. Stefan's are, I think, kind of yellow and purple. Do enjoy the VTS liveries. They're always a trip.
Yeah, they're well thought out, aren't they? They've had some excellent ones. Remember the Lamborghini ones? They were brilliant.
Oh, the circles. The target cars. Those were fun.
Yeah, they were cool.
They stood out on the broadcast, and they always seemed to be in a group together, which made it even more entertaining.
Yeah, a bit of drafting going on here, maybe. Abdul Al-Amri dragging Paul around. I think it's Paul, is it? Yeah, Paul.
A couple of asymmetric teammates there. So at the moment, it is asymmetric from BSTV, from Paceworks, from VTS, from asymmetric, a couple more, and a couple more BSTV cars. So all of the, I would say, most well-represented teams in the GTCC up towards the top, except the Dutchies guys. Martin Versluven's normally their top pace setter, so he's not here today. Barry Van Englenhoven, see there on your screen.
Marcel's
there as well. Yep. So 12th
and
14th at the moment for the Dutchies guys, but that's 4th and 5th in AM. So
how do you think that Ford's going to perform around Phillip Island? Because it's good in a straight line, isn't it? It's basically a skateboard with a seat on it. But there's a few sharp turns that the Ford doesn't usually get on with.
Yeah, it's one of the few cars on iRacing I've never driven, so I have no sense of what it does well aside from looking at other people driving it. But it's a valid point, and everything I've always heard about the Ford is pretty much that it can almost always be the quickest car in the hands of someone who is unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
But in the hands of, I think, just about everybody else, it generally stacks up near the front, but not necessarily the quickest. As Adam jumps back to the top with a 123.01.
Woof.
Just knocking on the door of a 122 is Adam. He's showing well, though, in that Porsche. Porsche is currently in the top 3 spots before JVZ in a Corvette.
Yeah, I might appeal to iRacing to get a refund on my Ford then, if only the really talented can drive it.
I'm not sure why you bought it in the first place, because that's been pretty well known for a while with that car, but...
Oh dear. I enjoyed the C6.
There is Yaz, still 6th overall and top of the M class drivers, ahead of his teammate Callum Mooney.
Ben says he much preferred when you were gone for one of your walks around the local park. That's funny. I thought Wobbly would be better than this.
Well, it goes to show he's not perfect around Phillip Island. Does have 2 wins on our broadcast to his credit this past season, but not showing particularly well in the GTEs. He did say he would be racing well inebriated, I believe. So
in that case, fair enough.
But then he did also say that that's his normal state. So who's to say what the root cause is? But certainly not showing his normal pace. Nor is Chris Shaw, to be fair.
No, that's true.
You expect Chris to be a little higher up. So maybe this track just not favoring the BMW or the Ferrari particularly well this week.
Yeah, I think Wobbly needs to be sponsored by Alka-Seltzer.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
Alka-Seltzer in the UK is like paracetamol and other stuff which makes you feel better after getting a hangover.
Ah, very good. Yep. There are a couple of asymmetric cars, so this time it's Callum Mooney getting the tow from Abdul. Seems like Abdul is playing the role of the tugboat today for the asymmetric boys.
Seems to be, yeah. Everybody's getting a bit.
Burgess around earlier. He does, I see, have Yaz a little ways up the road, so perhaps he's benefiting a little bit as well.
Sorry, Tyler. We can't possibly say that Yaz is towing anybody around any track ever. He's an obstruction to be passed, I get that, but providing tow, just not. Never heard of. Ben says that Wobbly's not doing very well, but to be fair to him, someone's taking his stilt, so he's struggling to reach the pedals. Because there's something going on Discord where Wobbly's really small, but he says he's 6'2". I don't think that's right. I think he's like 4 foot something by the way that Ben's talking.
Yeah, well, you guys all use different units over there, don't you? So we could just be talking some combination of metric and imperial or something like that. Something like 6 hectares and 2 yards or something.
I think people are going to... Ooh, Abdul Alhambri.
Up to P2 by 1/1000th of a second over his teammate Paul Burgess.
That's crazy. That is so close.
There are some really, really tight gaps. Really, Adam's time stands out a bit because he was able to put it so far ahead of second place. And I say so far ahead of second place, it's a little bit over 1/10 of a second, but that's beyond a lot of the gaps we've been seeing so far in this qualifying session. Yeah, really, really tight field, which should hopefully provide for some really entertaining racing around Phillip Island.
And the track is still going to rubber in for the next 5 minutes, so I think there may be more times to come. Although Adams is going to be a tough one to beat, isn't it? 123 or basically flat.
Yeah, that's we really haven't seen anyone but Abdul improving by a significant margin since Adam set that time. So it remains to be seen. Everybody besides Adam is currently out on track. I wonder if Adam's just sitting on that time knowing he's not going to do anything better.
Yeah, done that.
He's been in the pits for a little while, so, well, when you've done it, it's when you've set a time that gets you, what, like 15th?
Yeah. Just getting a time on the board with no X's. That's my achievement.
Maybe around the Red Bull Ring. Phillip Island's not too bad for that, but
actually, yeah, I am, and this is not to be ridiculed because this is true. I am reasonably uncrashy at Phillip Island, and I've got some decent results here. So it is a track that I get on with very well. It's a bit like Daytona Road.
So why aren't you racing?
Because I'm providing a service for the for the racing fraternity.
I see. That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Absolutely.
Oh, improvement
Ooh.
for Paul Burgess, but it's not quite enough, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to really get... Seems like these guys are taking a couple laps to get up to speed, so I think it's going to be tough for him to improve any further on that, but it does look like he's going for another outlap. That's Ben Cullen taking the scenic route into the southern loop.
That's hilarious. That's not how you get a faster lap, Ben. So for anybody watching who's new to iRacing, if you get off tracks, or you connect with the furniture, or you connect with another car, or you spin your car, you get incident points. You get any incident points, even a 0 incident point, which is you have made contact, but it's not significant enough to register an actual incident. Your lap is discounted for qualifying.
Yeah, the only time I can think of that line working is when we've done the Week 13 Pro 2 races.
Yeah. They are good fun, though.
They sure are. But it wouldn't count in qualifying, so, still not an idea. Oh, Adam's back out on track, so clearly feeling a little threatened from Paul this time.
Yeah, he's got the sweat on, hasn't he?
Yeah, carrying the 01. He was the M-Class champion last season, so isn't really in contention to pick up the Pro title, as Tice has pretty much run away with that, but he's clearly still got the pace that brought him the AM title last season.
Yeah, I mean, there's pulling your socks up, and then there's pulling your socks up to your armpits, isn't there? And that's what he's going to have to do.
Down into Lukey Heights. It'll be interesting to see if Abdul stays on or pulls off the track here, because at the moment he's giving a tow to Adam.
Yeah, and Paul, his teammate, is in second place. Abdul is in third. Abdul's not going to want to get out of the go pedal, though, is he? Because this is his chance to get on it.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to improve. He's picking up probably a little bit of a tow from Marcel Kempenaar there, but
I reckon Adam's pulled a blinder here. If this carries on all lap, he might get the tow that he needs in order to stretch his lead.
Indeed. Don't know if... Now, Paul should be on a lap here, but it wasn't an improvement in the first sector. We'll keep an eye on Adam's sectors as well. Nobody really improving out there right now. But if anyone's going to, Adam's got the perfect tow, I think, here with Abdul. He's really set himself up well for this lap.
Yeah,
but he might not need to. It doesn't really look like Paul's going to make much ground here. Unless he pulls a blinder in Sector 3.
I mean, it's been done before, hasn't it? There's a lot of time to be gained in Sector 3 normally because it's got some heavy braking zones.
Oh, and Marcel just getting out of the way of Abdul there. I think both Porsches got through cleanly. Paul should be just about finishing his lap now. It's a 24-1, so not going to improve, or 23-2, excuse me. Not an improvement, but pretty good time. That would put him 5th on the board. And now Abdul pulls off, so really he's set Adam up perfectly here.
Let's see if he actually improves. He's staying in the gas, so it must be an improvement. No.
23-4, so no, not quite an improvement, but
No.
well, he'll be wanting to stay on track and keep setting times in case Paul does pip him here.
Yeah, let's have a watch of Paul. Where's he at the minute? Siberia, is that?
Yep, I don't see anybody else really setting the timing screens alight at the moment. Everybody's mostly setting yellow sectors here.
I tell you what, and don't tell him this, because I know he doesn't listen. Send Cullen's done all right. He's in 4th.
I'm pretty sure that's the lap he set very early on in this session that had him the pole for a little bit provisionally. Right. I don't know that he's improved since that original time, as we see Paul coming around the last couple of corners here.
What you're saying is that Sen's time was lucky, because he's not been able to recreate it.
Exactly. Now, this will have to be a really good Sector 3 from Paul if he's going to grab the pole. wasn't spectacular
Oh,
in sectors
no.
1 and 2, and it's another 23-2. So he needs to find a little bit of time in sectors 1 and 2 if he's going to make something happen, as Adam is right up in behind wobbly kneecaps here.
Who's going to be towing him?
Yeah, but he's a little too close almost. He drifted a little wide there in the final corner. He also has not set particularly great times, but nearly, with a great sector 3, he nearly matches his pole setting time.
Yeah, not far off it at all.
So Adam showing that his pole pace, not a fluke there. He's clearly got something for the race today. Now Paul, with Adam pulling off and the checkered flag coming out, this is the last chance for Paul.
He's not set the timing screens alight though, has he?
No, sector 1 was 8
close
hits off of Adam last time around. Sector 2 that time was not great. That's 14 tenths, 14 hundredths, excuse me. So he'll need. Oh, he's pulled off. Yep.
Yeah, bailed.
So that'll be pole for Adam Wright, unless Ben Cullen is on a killer lap here, and I don't think he is. That's not the line there.
No.
Chris Shaw, the last one out on track. He hasn't really been making much noise so far in qualifying, and his sector times aren't anything particularly special.
No, Chris's racecraft is good though, isn't it? He can make his way through a field with relatively little effort.
Absolutely, yeah. He knows how to carve his way through the field. He's not bailing out of this lap, but I don't see it being a stunner. Might improve him a spot or two if he can do well in sector 3 here. He's right on the limit of the track there.
Yeah, I think he's racing because Stefan is doing personal bests, or he's doing green times anyway.
Yeah. Stefan well off in sector 1 though.
Yeah.
Don't think he's going to be improving here. Chris does not improve. He was about
and Stefan's tailed
off of his best. Yeah, so Stefan's out. So it'll be Adam Wright who starts the race from the pole.
Yeah, and we've got a few seconds to tick over before the end of this qualifying session. So I will very, very quickly take you through the team standings. So your leaders at the minute in the overall teams are asymmetric. They've got 3,368 points with a drop score in there. VTS Red is second on 28-24, so that's 500 points, call it. And then Paceworks Esports are third on 26.72, so that's all to play for to get to second. Dutch's Esports Charlie are on 25.27, and Dutch's Esports Bravo are in fifth on 24.97. So very tight from second down to fifth. Right then, do you want to do it?
On screen, sure thing. We've got pole sitter Adam Wright for BSTV Esports Yellow. Paul Burgess for Asymmetric starts second. Abdul Al-Amri, his teammate at Asymmetric, starts third. Ben Cullen, Adam's teammate at BSTV Esports Yellow, starts fourth. JVZ for Paceworks Esports Holland starts fifth. Marcus Bletz for VTS Red starts sixth. Callum Mooney just jumped Yaz for the top AM driver late in that qualifying session. I actually missed that one, but he will roll off in seventh place for AM Symmetric. Yaz Samai for the other AM Symmetric team will start in eighth, second in AM. Chris Shaw for BSTV Esports Green lines up in ninth. Wiebe Nijkamp for BSTV Esports in 10th. Stefan Goebel for VTS Yellow starts 11th. Marcel Kempenaar for Dutchies Esports Charlie starts 12th. Marco Lewert for VTS Red starts 13th. Barry Van Englenhoven for Dutchies Esports Bravo starts 14th. And Colin McAllister for Team Black Diamond 2 will round out the field.
Yeah, so I think we're waiting for... who are we waiting for? Ben. He's obviously wanting his tyres to be at premium before they set off on the full parade lap, which you get at Phillip Island. I thought it was all to do with it being a new track, where you got a shorter trip to the start line. But some of the brand new tracks, you do a full lap. So it must be just wherever the iRacing gods decide that the parade lap starts, I guess.
Well, most of the brand new tracks have an option where you can select a short pace lap or a full pace lap.
Okay.
Most of the older tracks don't have the option. You're stuck with whatever iRacing originally set as the pace lap. So at Phillip Island, evidently, that's the whole lap.
Yeah, Phillip Island is one. It's not been updated in a long time, I don't think. So that would make sense, absolutely.
Yeah, now this we have seen some messy starts here at Phillip Island before. Thinking back to the Next Level E Series race here, which was won, matter of fact, by Weebenikamp, who is starting probably around where he started in that race as well, somewhere in the back half of the top 10. Came through after chaos at the front to win that one. Hopefully that's not the case today because we don't really have enough cars to sustain a race. Should there be too much carnage at the start, but that it's a pretty long run down into turn 1, and it's not a heavy braking zone turn 1, so it can be a recipe for contact.
Yeah, there's multiple lines into turn 1 as well. We saw Foggy in the V8s overtaking people around the outside with ease. We've seen Tony Kloosterman overtaking people really tight on the right-hand side. And then there is a line down the centre as well, so it invites people to get competitive right from the go.
Well, and what it is that there are multiple lines through the southern loop. A lot of people do the double apex where they kind of keep it in tight at the start, swing out wide, and close it off with a second apex towards the end. Some people just keep it tight the whole way around the southern loop.
That's what I do.
Yeah, some people miss the first apex completely and just set
that
up the exit out onto the straight, which is honestly a viable line through the corner. So just because you can really enter the southern loop in a number of ways and still set yourself up well on exit, it makes the lines open in the first corner pretty extensive. So I'm sure we'll see a variety here, especially on the first lap. Ben Cullen hanging way back here. He'll want to get right back up to Paul Burgess, I think. Doesn't want to let JVZ jump him at the start here.
There's a big gap behind him as well.
Left is hanging back quite a ways as well.
Yeah.
So I think Adam is gone already. Yeah, he got a great jump off the line. Not evidently helping his teammate much at all. I don't know if he didn't let Ben know he was going or what, but he got a great jump. He's going to be well clear into turn 1, as is Paul Burgess. It's Abdul.
Abdul
split it. He's
save of the century.
What a brilliant save from Abdul. I don't think there was any sort of contact there between Abdul and Ben. I think he just tried to keep it pinned tight to the apex and carried a bit too much speed. That's Adam.
No way.
What happened to him?
Well, the wall happened for a start.
Well, that was the conclusion, but did he just carry too much speed into the southern loop?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Oh, goodness.
Oh, dear. That's going to have done quite a lot of damage to the front. Oh, hang on.
And something between Marco and Yaz here.
Definitely Yaz driving this week. Definitely Yaz.
Marcel.
Oh, dear.
That was strained. It looked like Marco locked the rears, perhaps trying to avoid running into, I think it was Marcel Kempenaar on the inside there. Oh, he's out of shape way early there.
Yeah.
And Barry Van Englenhoven lucky to get through that unscathed. I'd love to see his on board there if we could, but
his on board will be something out of a comedy sketch.
So Send Cullen leads this race somehow.
I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm just gonna have to go and get my ears syringed.
Right, that was Send Cullen is leading this race.
Oh my god.
We made the pass on Paul. It looks like in the Honda. He got a good run out of the southern. Perhaps Paul a bit put off by Adam going wide there.
You do get that, don't you? You get a bit target fixated. He's having to defend against JVZ at that point in the race as well.
Yeah, and that's one of those places where Ben carried a little too much speed into Honda, but that's all right because you can, as long as you can keep it tucked in line, you can really save yourself from too much trouble there. So the good news for Adam is that I believe you do get a faster pair in this series, right? That I've raced in and should know.
Yes, you do, yeah.
Yes, you do. So Adam will get the faster pair. The bad news is with the fuel limit on these cars, he's going to have to wait probably about a half an hour to use it. Fortunately, he doesn't seem to be too terribly off the pace. He's hanging with the other cars who have had trouble, but poor Adam Wright started this race from the pole and simply threw it off.
Yeah, he's going to be really gutted at that, I think. But it's so easily done, isn't it? Cold tyres at turn 1 on Phillip Island or into turn 2, the southern loop. It's easily done. You see loads of people doing it.
It's easy to do it on warm tires. If you,
Yeah.
usually, though, what you see is people dipping tires on the grass on the exit of turn
Spinning.
1.
Yeah.
And they can't brake as much as they would want to and carry too much speed in. But with Adam, it just looked like he, was probably looking in the mirror, seeing where Paul Burgess was, and just missed his braking point.
Yeah. And Ben seems to be doing a good job out front. Yaz Not Yaz is at the head of this group of 4 cars.
And it seems like
Adam
is not hurting too bad. In fact, he's just set the fastest lap of the race. So clearly some pace still in that car, despite the nosing it into the tire barrier.
Now, does he have an option to bring it back then? As in, get a top 5? Is that even an option now?
He's not that far off of the pack, and he's clearly got some pace. I would say a win without some chaos at the front is likely out of the question, although Paul and Ben are looking to start some chaos, it seems.
Yeah. Ooh, gee whiz.
Wiggle there from Paul. That's going to open the door for KBC.
Ben's laughing. Yeah, Ben's laughing all the way over Lukey Heights.
And Paul just was looking at a door that was always going to close, I think, and realized too late. He was lucky not to go off there, because that's a place where you can really pick up some damage if you sail wide.
Yeah. Ben on the chat says, "What am I doing here?" That's class.
Paul now comes under fire from a couple of BSTV cars. Chris Shaw first in line in the Ferrari.
Yeah. Martin Verstappen says, "Throw the flag now." Oh, that's funny.
Ben would enjoy that, but no, couple of pit stops to get through before that, and who knows? It's not the most difficult pit lane to get through, but it's not the easiest either.
No, it's quite tight. It's really narrow. You got grass on either side, which is not it's not familiar territory on a pit entry, is it?
Yeah. So the good news for Adam is that the field is all bunched together here. So if he can, start to close in on the back of the pack, he's really not lost all that much time at all. And in clean air, if Ben stays under pressure here now from JVZ, he's not out of the question, out of the picture for a decent finish here.
Yeah, not quite 2 seconds covers the top 5 cars.
And it's really one solid pack all the way back to Barry Van Englenhoven in 11th. So
yeah,
everybody pretty much in line here. Last time around, the quickest car on track was... Is that Callum? Nope, that's the wrong one. It was Abdul Al-Amri, actually, with a 124. Well, this time through, it's Paul Burgess, who set a 124 flat as everybody filters through the timing line.
He's getting a triple toe at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, Ben Cullen, our race leader, did a 124.6. So clearly not benefiting from the toe is Ben, while everyone behind him does receive that benefit. But he continues to lead, and it's not the easiest track to pass at is Phillip Island.
No.
The problem a lot of people have in passing is that it's not a straight shot into any of the hardest braking zone. You think of Lukey Heights, you think of Honda. Those are your hardest braking points on the track where you'd be wanting to make a pass happen. And both of them, you're right on the limit right up until you start braking pretty much.
Yeah, and one of the corners, I think it's called MG. It's after Lukey Heights. It's that tight right-hander, this one, where they're going into now. You think that's an overtaking point, but it's not. It's weirdly, you can't get alongside the car to get a pass done there. Or I can't, anyway. Maybe better people can.
You can definitely get yourself alongside somebody there, but then you just hand them the optimal line for the next corner. So it's really just not a good passing opportunity. I think Honda definitely is the best passing corner on this track, but you still need to set somebody up pretty well to take advantage of it. At 124.3 there for Ben, that's an improvement over his last time around. Let's see what Adam does at 24.2. So closing in, but not considerably.
And we're proving yet again that you don't need a massive field in order to have exciting, really good, close professional racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we see a lot. It's also minute 7 of an hour-and-a-half race, so give it some time.
I'm milking it right now. Oh, Yaz, what are you doing?
So it does seem that Yaz did at least get back behind the wheel of that car for the race itself. That looks exactly like what
Southern
Adam
Loop,
did,
yeah.
except he kept it out of the wall, I think.
Which is a result there, because you are carrying a huge amount of speed.
Yeah, and this is one of those tracks where the grass might as well be water. Just you just aquaplane over it pretty much. JVZ probably as close to Ben as he's been for a couple of laps.
It's been bubbling around that 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, it seems as though...
least.
And we've seen this before, it just seems as though that JVZ in that Corvette is quick in the wrong places.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be quick in the places where you can take advantage of it and make a move happen. He seems to really close in on Ben, but Ben's able to stretch it out of the important corners. Whoa, wide moment for Abdul there. Let's see if he can get on the brakes well enough.
He does, yeah. If you were watching the timing just then on the straight.
Oh, sorry, Pete. That was a big
wobble.
JVZ, yeah.
On the straight, JVZ was losing time to Ben Cullen. How is that even possible? He's got toe.
Yeah, you know that it could just be a matter of the way the timing is coming through on our screens.
Yeah,
because it looked like the car was closing a little bit. But I'd imagine the Corvette, it's always been pretty quick in the corners. JVZ right
there
up
we
on
go.
the number of Ben Cullen now. No place to pass for a couple of corners. This is where Paul Burgess had a look but wasn't able to make it happen. JVZ a little wiser, perhaps seeing Paul make the move before him.
Yeah.
And just not close enough to try something with the brakes, but he gets a good run off as Ben locks up.
That's the good line he's got through there, and Ben's got a shallow line, so maybe that'll set him up for a good run. I mean, you get some unbelievable toe down this start.
He's got a good run now. That was exit out of the final corner, but Ben exited decently as well. And actually, you're right, Pete. It does look like that Corvette could just be the setup or the way the BOP is shaken out recently. Seems just a bit down on top speed to that portion.
Yeah, if you piled a lot of downforce into that GTE Corvette, would you lose straight line speed?
Absolutely, and it's not an unreasonable setup direction for Phillip Island either.
No.
You know, a lot of the straights have corners in them, so it's not necessarily a track where you want to be totally trimmed out, for sure. So there's a chance that JVZ is just running a lot of wing, but I don't really know the current state of the BOP between all these cars. It could very well be that the Corvette is good in the corners and lacking in the straights with the current BOP situation.
And would it be of an advantage in a race like this with 2 pit stops, where fuel saving became something of an advantage?
It wouldn't be a disadvantage for sure. I think where it would more come into play, as he's made the move.
Woohoo! That is one hell of a move.
Ben made the wise choice to kind of let it happen.
Yeah.
He's tried to come back around the outside, and so far has made it stick. That is a phenomenal comeback there for Ben Cullen.
Yeah, don't say that too loudly, because his head's already massive.
Well, he really did an excellent job there because he saw exactly what JVZ was doing and did the right thing, not trying to fight him too hard, let him make his mistake. As Abdul had a move.
Yeah, JVZ's really compromised his time down that straight, hasn't he?
I think he really, if not overheated his tires, at least got thrown off his rhythm with that missed move down from Lukey Heights. I think he really just, once you get offline in those final sequence of corners, it's tough to gather it back up, especially as he had Ben going around the outside of him. So I think a bit gathering himself back up here as Paul defends from Chris Shaw. He and Weeb are both right in this battle here.
Yeah.
But really, some excellent defending there from Ben Cullen and great opportunistic move from Abdul Al-Amri.
There he goes again.
As he is now looking for the race lead.
Yep. Ooh, that was close.
It was. It's giving him room, though.
That made me tense in places that I don't want to share.
Well, Ben's done exactly what you want to do around there. Just sail it around the outside because now... Oh, no!
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, and Abdul had plenty of room there, so no real excuse for for that nudge, though you are certainly driving on the limit up over that hill. You kind of need to be aware that Ben at some point is going to drift a little bit over. Here we see, I mean, Ben's just going in a straight line there.
Sadly for Ben, there's a whole lot of grass out the front there.
Yes, there is. Now he has recovered in front of Adam and Marcel Kempenaar in 9th place. Chris Shaw having a move on Paul Burgess. I think there was a little contact there.
Possibly. And that's Paul. Well, he's not moving back as such because Ben got nerfed. So, ooh, and they're still going here. Oh,
that's JVZ around. It's all happening at the front at the moment. Now, you were asking if Adam Wright could be in contention for this race.
Yes, he can.
Yes. So it was all up from JVZ. Just locked the rears there.
Yep.
And that cost Chris Shaw because he was hanging around the outside of Paul Burgess, but had to check up there to make sure he didn't hit the spinning JVZ.
Yeah, and that's just greedy on the gas, really. Sorry, greedy on the brakes whilst turning, isn't it? To get that effect.
Contact there, Chris Shaw and Paul Burgess.
Is this live?
Oh, this is the replay of what we saw in the southern loop there. So Paul was way out wide. Chris, I think, just drifted out into him there, which is easily done in the southern loop. You carry so much speed in. It's sometimes tough to measure. It's similar, really, to what we saw happen between Abdul and Ben, just carrying more speed than you think and drifting out. Fortunately for Paul, their contact came to less of his disadvantage than it did to Ben.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's particularly enamoured with AAA's performance because he says it's twice in 2 corners that he got a nudge.
Yeah, and I think he has a pretty good reason to be upset there because there was certainly room for fair racing, and it's hard to call contact like that fair. I'm sure Abdul didn't mean to do it, and it's not the kind of racer Abdul is, but still, you hope for better judgment, I think, in situations like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a battle between teammates heating up here. Wobbly is giving a flash of headlights to Chris Shaw.
You want to quit that thing right now?
I think that was just a friendly flash there.
Is there such a thing?
That's the only way I use it.
Are they not? Oh no, they won't be in the same. No, they won't be in the same chat 'cause Chris doesn't turn up to talk, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't like talking during the races, evidently, because he usually spends his races alone. But they are de facto teammates for this race, even though Chris is green and Weeba is pink.
Oh, you what, that green paint is awesome with the red trim down the bonnet. It's really nice.
Yeah, Abdul stretching the gap out front at the moment. Paul not really able to keep pace with him as it stands right now. And with these two battling, they're losing those two pretty quickly. Behind them, it's a couple of ETS cars, the 2 Porsches of Marcus Bletz and Stefan Goebel. Stefan currently leading in GT in AM.
I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah, he's gotten ahead of Callum Mooney, who started on the AM class pole.
Yeah, of course, because Yaz has dropped himself quite far down the standings now. Second off last at the moment.
Yeah, indeed he has.
Hang on a minute. Was that a multi-21 with Wobbly?
It looked like Chris saying it's not worth fighting right now at this point in the race. Let's just get on with it, I think. Wobbly had the look, and Chris didn't really put up a fight tremendously hard in the Honda. Chris probably figures he can take Wobbly's toe forward. Yeah,
and you've got to salute Wobbly driving the BMW. There's only 2 of them in the field. The other one is last. And he's obviously making it work somehow. Yeah,
when the season started, we saw JVZ in the BMW, if you remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
and he drove it to pretty good effect, but changed to the Corvette with the iRacing season change. So Yeah, no BMWs really represented at the front, but Wobbly doing what he can.
Oh,
There is
what the
Dizzy,
hell?
so he's got significant damage.
He's gone, as in gone. He's left the
And too
session.
much speed into the southern loop.
Oh, this is going to be a massive hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would.
that'll knock
Seemed
your
like
fillings out.
He kind of gave up on that one at some point. He was not slowing down, and that's going to be costly for him out of this race, obviously. And obviously, he had missed at least the first round of the championship, if not a couple. So he was having to fight back in the championship picture, and that's not going to cut it.
No, he's currently 9th in the standings, and a DNF here will put him last in this one. He'll get some points, but it won't be anything that'll move him up very much.
He does have the benefit of a low turnout today, so he will score better points than he would had he DNF'd a different round.
Yeah, that's Colin McAllister.
Yep.
Try that again with my teeth in. Letting people through there.
Yeah, it does seem like Colin not really on the pace this week. Phillip Island is not an easy track by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's not. It's weirdly very technical. You were right before. It's a rhythm track, isn't it? You get into a real routine on every lap, and somebody puts a car in the wrong place at the wrong time for you, and it really wrecks you. Chris Shaw is getting caught quickly by Stefan.
Yeah, I'm not so sure now that was letting Wobbly by to use his toe so much as letting him through because he was clearly quicker. It does seem like Chris just doesn't really have the pace this week.
I mean, it might have been arrive and drive.
He often is.
Yeah, he often is, but he often does an arrive and drive and ends up winning. And he's one of those annoying human beings that's really good at any car on any track. So, but you're right. Maybe just this week it just doesn't suit the car combination with track.
And Adam Wright is in the pits, so he'll be. This will be the very beginning of the pit window, I'm sure. He'll be coming in to take that fast repair and get his car good as new.
Far in are we at the moment? We are 20 minutes in.
Oh, and that's Chris going wide.
Oh, no. No wall. Oh,
get it, yeah. Just a scrape down the side.
It won't be too hefty. That's very similar to what we've seen Yaz do and we saw Adam do.
And I wouldn't be shocked to see Chris in the pits this time around.
Yeah, it's a little bit twisted, but there's not really anything more than cosmetic damage, surely.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that, I'm certain that Adam wouldn't have pit without knowing he could make it to the finish. It'll be a couple of long stints at the end here, but it's definitely doable. Yeah. Usually we see the drivers kind of split the race into thirds, so Adam instead opting to take a short stop first time through.
And Sublime there from Marco. From Stefan.
Yeah, it'll have the benefit, too, for Adam of helping him with track position, assuming nobody else tries to fight off the undercut and take a short stop now as well. And who knows, with some track position, Adam might be able to put in some good laps and work his way back forward. Callum Mooney is one person trying to stave off the undercut.
He's also... Ooh, Stefan!
Oh, sorry, that's not Callum. That's Chris Shaw in the pit lane. So another BSTV esports car with damage, presumably coming to take his fast repair.
Yeah, and we just saw the change of the AM lead there, with Stefan getting way out of shape in the southern loop. He was tail wagging all the way around it.
Yeah, he was lucky to hold on to it.
Yeah,
was Stefan. That was not a fun ride through the southern loop, I'm sure. And that is Adam in behind. That's Ben in behind those two.
Yeah, Send now on a recovery drive. Chris, you're up for tyres.
Yeah, so Adam definitely did not. He had a 15-second stop. That's an interesting choice from Chris. Normally, if we see people taking tires, they take it on the longer stop, which is usually the second stop.
Yeah, he's leaving pit lane now, actually, is Chris.
Yeah, it definitely could be a tire stop for everyone in this race. It's a pretty tire-heavy track, Phillip Island. You would expect so with the several high-speed, heavy-load corners. Do wonder if we might see some guys, perhaps like Ben or Adam, opt for a two-tire strategy. Just put a couple new ones on and hope that they can ride that to the end.
And Marcus is rapidly catching Wobbly now.
Yeah, and indeed he is. And we kind of don't want to say we suspected it, but really it did seem like Wobbly and Chris were not quite on the pace of the front runners. And it certainly seems that that is the case. And Marcus does seem to have pretty good pace in that Porsche.
Yeah, evening to Mary Jackson on the chat. And Wobbly did say that he had a bit of sauce on his chips before he started racing tonight, didn't he? He's a bit sauced up.
Yep. And this is Ben closing in on the battle for the AM class lead that we were talking about before. He's definitely quicker than Stefan. He's been reeling him in pretty quickly here. Not sure if he'll catch Callum as quick, who's kind of escaped up the road a little bit.
Not miles away from him, though, is he? He's only 1.5 seconds further up.
No. That pass, when you consider it just happened a lap ago.
Yeah, true.
It's been a pretty quick run to the front. Worth remembering, of course, too, that drivers score points on their overall finish regardless of the class they're in, which actually means that this will be a really good points day for some AM class drivers who are looking at the potential for a top 5 finish. With Callum at the moment in 5th place.
Yaz is benefiting from the pit stops that have happened already, obviously, and has caught the Barry Van Englenhoven.
And a bit surprised that Yaz hasn't been in yet, but I guess he's kept it mostly clean in terms of damage, so hasn't had the need to stop in for a fast repair.
Yeah, he didn't actually make any contact with any tyres, did he? He managed his off-track quite well.
No, but he did have that incident with Marco.
Oh, no, he did, yeah.
So thought he might have some right rear damage. Whoa, that was close. But Yaz is through on Barry Van Englenhoven there.
That Ford is really struggling, isn't it?
Yeah, and now Ben right up on Stefan and Callum. So clearly under pressure, Stefan able to close that gap back down on Callum Mooney.
Yeah, I was going to say, Callum's been reeled back in again quite quickly.
Yeah, and this will not be... this might be the time for Ben to bail and pit here, try and get the undercut on these two, because you don't really want to be fighting for positions on track if you don't have to, especially around Phillip Island.
He's going again, though. He obviously wants a toe.
Clearly not listening to me, and why would he? You know, what do I know? But...
The BSTV master tactician. Yeah, we'll ignore him.
Ben has pulled some pretty good strategy out of his hat in the past.
He just said on the messaging, Tyler, you're wrong. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Triple A.
Abdul. That's our race leader.
Was. Southern Luke has grabbed another victim.
Too much speed, tires on the grass.
That's what you normally see.
Yeah, I'd love to know what I'm wrong about. Whether it's better to stay out or if they can't make it to the end from here on one more stop. That'd be good to know, because then Adam's in quite a bit of trouble. But
he is, yeah. Masses of it. He was 10 minutes before the 30. What's this? What are we watching? Chris Shaw.
Is Chris back in the pits?
Yes.
So he's got his fast repair. And into Honda, too much speed on the grass. Way too much speed there.
And stop. Okay.
I think he might have, as they say, given up.
Oh, do you think?
That didn't look like a reset-worthy incident to me, personally.
He's still sat in the pit.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens with that. He's going up on the jacks with tyres, anyway.
So Ben's told me it's way too early to pit.
Right. So that means Adam is in a bad place.
Yeah, for sure. So Adam throwing us for a loop there. Well, I suppose, Ben, I don't know what the fuel strategy is today, but could be people trying for a one-stop here. I'd imagine that would be what Ben is getting at in this case.
Yeah, and that might be why we saw JVZ not overtaking and giving ground. Oh, that was very tight.
Yeah, this is Marcus and Wobbly. Oh,
Probably-
Marcus with the
oh.
crossover into Siberia. That is an excellent move there.
Yeah, that's good.
Well executed from Marcus.
Yeah. And that's Adam getting through on Barry.
Yeah, so Adam, regardless, is committed to at least a two-stop strategy.
Yes.
Hopefully he can make it on two. If Ben is saying it's way too early, then I have to believe he's trying to make it on one stop. We'll see if anyone else can do that. It could also explain why he was seemingly kind of holding up the field a bit as the race leader if he was trying to save fuel all the while.
Yes.
That would certainly, because he, since he's been shuffled back, he's setting laps that are far from uncompetitive. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he was saving all the way.
I think that Chris may have had a technical issue because he's now leaving pit lane again.
Missed what Ben said there.
I did as well. He sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher for those of you that are old enough to remember that. So this is Ben putting a massive amount of pressure on Callum.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get through here, though Callum fights
Nope.
back.
Shut door.
Yeah, but Callum's
Cut
going to swing
back.
out wide. Yep, that's the crossover there. Now that's a
hanging
lot
it.
tougher to make work than what we saw Marcus do on Wobbly.
Yeah.
But the
I
bad
mean-
news for Ben here is that all the while he's behind Callum, he's losing time to Paul Burgess out front.
He's
Then
not
again,
that
we've
far
seen-
back, is he really?
We've seen leaders throw it off or been thrown off, 3 times now in the first half hour of this race, so
I can't
certainly
believe.
not out of the question.
Yeah, I can't believe Paul Burgess will go absolutely perfect for the rest of the race. There's going to be something happens. Marcus Bletz is he only half a second behind him or something like that?
He's about 6 seconds
Oh,
behind.
6 seconds. I'm reading my timing screen wrong.
Yeah, so 6 seconds back is Marcus and still under pressure from Wobbly. Looking at the lap times, both of these two are pretty much on Paul's pace. Marcus was about half a tenth off, and Wobbly was 100th quicker that last time through.
Yeah. These
Quickest
two-
man on track, though, was Ben Cullen. Nope, sorry,
No.
read that backwards. Quickest man on track was, is that Adam? Yes. Adam with a 1:24.61. 1:24.55 now, so Adam's
55,
setting
yeah.
some quick lap, which is what, with the two-stop strategy, what you got to do is basically just
Gun it.
pound around as quick as you can and hope that the people saving fuel are running significantly slower, which doesn't seem to be the case at the moment, but I'm showing, is that Barry Van Englenhoven off track? Yep, Southern Loop.
No, yeah. Another victim of the Southern Loop.
Yep.
Oh, he's on him now.
Yeah, he has been.
Like a bad rash now, isn't he? Look at that. Gonna bag him by the end of the start-finish straight, surely. Callum trying to break the toe.
Yeah, but Ben's going to have the run here for sure.
Yeah. There's only so far to the left you can go before you run out of track.
And Callum lets him have it there, which is good, because you definitely can fight that into the Southern Loop for sure. We were talking about it at the start, but I think Callum knows he's bringing Stefan right back into this fight, continuing to battle with Ben. He's better off kind of taking the toe and riding forward behind Ben.
Yeah, Pro car overtaking AM car, so Callum will only benefit from it, but Ben's still gone defensive.
And he had to, because Callum got a great run out of the Southern Loop,
Yeah.
but Ben able to hold on there. Quickest second sector, or personal best rather, last time around for Marcus Bletz, so he's continuing to set some quick laps. He was quicker than our race leader that last time around, 24.5.
He's got a bit of work to do, though, hasn't he, to catch that back?
Yeah, basically, aside from his little wobble into Lukey Heights that cost him some spots, Paul Burgess has had I would say, the most trouble-free race of anybody out front.
He's had the least worst incident, hasn't he?
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it. Although I can't specifically remember anything Marcus was caught up in, but certainly we've seen...
Actually, yes, you're right. He's not actually tangled with anyone that I can remember.
But that kind of paints the picture of this race, doesn't it? Those top three have had the cleanest races, and then you get to Abdul, Ben, Callum and Stefan have been all right, but Marco, Adam, all the other pro drivers, Chris Shaw, JVZ, they've all had trouble. So it's been a battle of staying clean, which I have to say is kind of how Wobbly has won his past races around Phillip Island.
Yeah,
saving fuel and staying clean, which seems to be the game plan today as well. So possible reason why we saw the Corvette slow Pete JVZ posting in Discord that he had his gearing completely wrong, did no practice coming from a race in the French countryside this weekend.
Understood, right.
24.6 that time from Paul. That's the quickest seen from him in a little while. Marcus matched him on that one. Abdul similarly close. Everybody else a little bit further off, though.
Chris Shaw has left the session.
Yeah, I think whatever technical issue was bothering him has reared its ugly head again.
Yep, looks like it. Callum's sticking with Ben, doing exactly what you said, making use of that toe and slightly pulling away from Stefan.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision there from Callum. Not really, obviously it does pay points for every position you get, but I think it was pretty clear at that point he was not going to hold Ben off for the entirety of the race. Better off, taking advantage of what you can get from letting him through.
Yeah.
So the thing to watch for the next 10 minutes or so is who doesn't pit. And the first answer to that question is not Paul Burgess. He is in the pit lane. Marcus Flett is in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's followed him.
And Cullen. Oh, no, sorry, that's Callum Mooney. So, Weebin Nightcamp, Abdul Al-Amri, and Ben Cullen have stretched it. But if we're seeing everybody pit at the 35-minute mark, I struggle to believe that anyone's going to do this on one stop. But if anyone besides me can, it's Ben Cullen. So, here is...
I can't even commentate on that one. That was funny. Yeah, that's funny.
I feel like at this point Ben is just gonna keep changing his strategy out of spite.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that we're wrong, regardless of what we're guessing. And Wobbly is talking about a race I have no memory of.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, no, he some mention of a previous Phillip Island race that I was definitely not a part of.
Oh, okay.
Chatty drivers on the chat today. So, key point here, Pete, is look at where Adam Wright has come out relative to Paul Burgess as Abdul Al-Amri pulls into the pit lane. We were talking about that short stop for the first stop for Adam has really set him ahead. The real beneficiary, though, is Marcus Bletz, who did not take tires on his stop and is, I would say, in the provisional lead of this race. So
but he will need tires, right?
You never need tires in this series. I've not seen anybody take their tires down all the way to zero.
Actually, you say that, and I used to race GTE with Gary Craig quite a lot. Actually, we drove the Corvette a lot, and it was almost a weekly thing where I'd say, "Do we need to take tires on this pit stop?" And he'd go, "No, you never need to take tires on a
So
45-minute race or an hour race or whatever."
In fairness, they did change that recently, and it is very, very borderline in these races. It's actually, Marcus nearly swings wide there, but Adam's going to go through. So these are the two highest placed cars who have made a pit stop.
Yep.
But it's actually really well balanced for this particular league as far as tire wear in the GTEs, because you definitely can do the race on one set of tires, but it's definitely not very fun by the end of the race. So,
So your argument there is, will I make the time up on the tire swap?
Exactly, and the answer is usually just about.
Right. Okay.
Ben Cullen into the pit lane at the 38-minute mark, so he's not going to one-stop it.
But Wobbly has gone again.
Yeah, he'll need to turn quite a few more laps to have a chance at the one-stop.
Okay. That's Barry Van Englenhoven passing, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, the thing to see is if Ben goes up on the jacks for tires.
He's a good cameraman, isn't he?
He is. He's been in the pits long enough that I think he is up on the jacks. It's hard to see with the pit wall there. No.
No
So
tires.
So that'll be fuel only, but quite a bit more fuel than Marcus Bletz, who was in before him. Now, where does he come out relative to Paul Burgess? He is ahead.
But no tires.
Of course. So Paul, you'd expect, will be able to reel Ben in pretty short order. But what this does benefit, if Ben can hold on sufficiently well for a little bit, is these two right here, Adam and Marcus. Marcus is in really good shape if he can hang with Adam as Weeba's in, so nobody's going to be one-stopping this race, though you do figure Ben and Weeba will have particularly short second stops. If Marcus can stick right with Adam, Adam's going to have to take on quite a bit more fuel in his second stop, which should be coming, if everyone's doing 40 minutes, would expect Adam in about 20 minutes or so.
Yep. We've lost Colin McAllister, sadly, as well.
Yeah, he's pulled it off. So looking at last lap times, once everyone filters on through, it's a 1:24.6 from Adam out front. Well, let's wait till these times come in. So it is another 1:24.6. It's a 1:24.6 as well for Marcus Bletz. Now, what can Ben and Paul do? That's an outlap for Ben.
Yeah.
And a 1:28.8 from Paul. Is that right?
No, 1:24.4.
Sorry, so Weeba's come out in front of both of them.
That's
why I was thrown off. It's a 1:28.8 outlap for Ben, 1:24.4 from Paul. So 0.2 of a second. That's not going to be enough.
Fastest boy on track. AAA behind these two.
Yeah. So AAA, I believe, took tires as well. Looking at the length of his pit stop, Ben fighting off the attack from Paul for the moment.
It's a good defense, actually, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice line, very clean, blocked where he needed to.
Yeah, just got the car clear. And,
it was too fast. It was too fast.
Oh, you've jinxed him, Pete.
I know. Sorry, AAA. That's really bad, isn't it?
No,
My
to be fair,
curtains are quite strong.
Pete, he was off before you said it. So.
Okay, that's fine then. Hey, I'm innocent.
So I think it's safe to say that the top 5 as it stands right now is probably who you should be looking at as far as potential for the race win. Paul is the only one of those top 5 on tires, and I wouldn't really expect any of the other 4 to take tires on their second stop, so would figure this is pretty much how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, and I thought Paul would be able to pull alongside Ben by the end of the start-finish straight on this lap, but those tyres have not proven to be terribly effective. Maybe it'll kick in later.
That's what I would expect, to be honest. You really...
Right.
They're certainly worse, a stint old, but you really don't start to feel them in these cars until you're really getting down into like the 30%, 20% tire remaining, which won't really be happening till pretty much the end of this race for Ben. And that's what makes it so tough, the call whether to take tires or not, because Paul is definitely going to have an advantage at the end of this race if nobody else takes tires. But right now, what he's lost is track position, and it's really costing him here in behind Ben Cullen. Oh, he sent it in.
It's a send, isn't it? Whoa, Ben! Oh, well held.
Yeah, that was well done by Ben.
That was a bit rude from Paul Burgess, it has to be said.
If you're going to make a move like that, you really should be sure that you're going to be clear on the other side, and Paul wasn't. Compared to what we saw from Ben.
Oh, that was a hip check.
I would expect a redress of position because that's...
Yeah, it's tough.
Naughty.
Ben was certainly in tight there, but at the same time, you can't really go much wider, or you run the risk of running off the track. So certainly, you know, there was a car's width there, you could argue, but at the same time, you know, Paul isn't going to, you know, just kind of give the corner up. It's a tough spot on the track to pull a pass off, as we've seen, and just a coming together there.
Yeah, Colin McAllister says he was struggling and not feeling it too well. So hopefully, Colin, you'll join us next time. Always good to have you in there, and it's a shame you're not feeling up to it tonight. But yeah, hopefully Ben can take it to Paul, because I thought that was a bit naughty.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you figure, given the tire disparity, Paul was always going to pass Ben. And similarly, Paul obviously felt the sense of urgency there. You know, he's on tires and Ben isn't, nor is anyone in front of him. He wants to be making up that track position as quickly as he can. You know, he saw the window and he took it, and I'm sure what happened next is going to be a source of disagreement post-race between Ben and Paul, but what it comes down to is, you know, I struggle to see that as anything other than a racing incident, and even though I know there's been some bad blood perhaps between some of the BSTV drivers and Paul in the past, that was it's tough to really pin the blame there, because Paul kept it pretty much as tight as he can up through Lukey Heights.
Well, there's plenty of racing still to go. We're halfway through this race, almost exactly at the moment. So let's see what falls out by the time we get to the end. Your race leader at the minute is Adam Wright. He's leading by 2 3/4 seconds nearly over Marcus Bletz, who's doing a brilliant job keeping it stuck to the front of the field so far. And then in third place, 5 seconds behind Marcus, who's on your screen now. Behind Marcus, 5 seconds back, no, 7 seconds back. I can't read, apparently. I can't count either. Is Wobbly, who's floated towards the surface. They do say that the scum floats to the top of the pond, don't they, Tyler?
Yeah, that's one way to put it, for sure.
Yeah. So he's making his way up there. And this is Callum Mooney. He's your AM class leader at the moment. He's got 5 seconds, and it's a handsome 5 seconds, actually, over Stefan Goebel. But Stefan is quite quick, and he's doing faster laps, albeit not by a massive amount, 2/10 last time round. And Stefan's in second place, up 3 positions. Callum's in the place he started at. People have moved around him, but he's stayed steady where he is, as top of the pile of the AM class of car. Third in that class, as we watch Stefan, who's second, is Yaz Samai, or Yaz not Yaz, or whoever's driving his car. We think it is him tonight, because we've seen some blemishes in the record there. He's currently third in AM, and he's got himself a comfortable lead over the next car back, which is Barry van Englenhoven. But he's got a lot to do to get on terms with Stefan and Callum.
Yeah, and going back to Stefan, it's actually nice to see him really putting the pedal down as the race goes on here. Having raced with him a lot in the GT4 league and this league as well, he's definitely been finding pace at a pretty rapid rate. But what he's struggled, I think, to do, and I would imagine he would agree with this, is to put the races together. You know, he's had races where he's qualified really strongly and just hasn't put together the race pace that he needs to. So it's nice to see him with some really strong pace here today, as we're well past, a little bit past halfway in this race, hanging on pretty solidly to that second place in AM and chasing down the AM class leader.
Yeah, and I think Adam's pulling away slowly but surely from Marcus Bletz. I'm not too sure what the time was a few laps ago, but it definitely seems like he's stretching it a little bit more. He'll be full out, like gunning it around the track though, won't he?
You're absolutely right, Pete. It was 2.5 seconds, not more than a couple laps ago. So Adam's got the hammer down. He's obviously lighter on fuel than Marcus is at this point, having stopped some 20 laps before. But this is exactly what Adam needs to be doing right now, and this is kind of the benefit to that undercut is you do get pretty much a whole stint where you're lower on fuel than everyone you're trying to put time on. And really, he's been quicker than everybody. Even that last time around, Paul Burgess was a tenth and a half off. Actually, he just put a time in that time that was nearly 4/10 off of what Adam is doing. So he qualified on pole, so we knew he had pace today, did Adam Wright. But trying to make up for that early error and doing a really good job executing on this strategy.
Yeah, and at the minute, I think he's got tow from Yaz Not Yaz. On the straight
he will,
anyway.
yeah. That he'll be hoping. I'd imagine that once he gets to him, that Yaz helps him out. But obviously, Yaz part of the asymmetric stable. I'd imagine he's going to put up a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, I hadn't done that bit of math, but it's fairly obvious when you think about it, isn't it? It's his teammate that he's going to be helping out. So yeah.
And of course, Paul is coming up on another BSTV esports driver, who I'd imagine is going to be putting up a hefty fight.
Yeah.
If there's one thing Weeba knows how to do, it's put up a fight.
He is also driving a Leyland Routemaster of a sized car. Short of actually having 2 decks on that vehicle, he is a bus, isn't he? It takes 10 minutes to pass a BMW of that size, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, Wobbly is no slouch behind the wheel of any BMW or any other car for that matter. But he's definitely found his happy place around Phillip Island, and will be wanting to hold on to a podium for as long as he can.
Absolutely. I've not seen him drive a Jetta though. That's the real definition of a true champion, isn't it? Is to dear, I'm just gonna wind up now.
And the real greats crash the Jetta, I think.
Yes, this is true. Yes, yeah, the true great cider drinkers of the world, they really do crash Jettas. As race cars,
we believe held exclusively by Clyde Whiting.
Yeah. Oh dear, it's funny stuff. And not once, but twice. Who does that?
So,
I'll tell you what, really funny story. I thought that driving the Jetta would be quite easy. Oh my god, it was difficult. And I ended up in a race with a chap who, 2 people actually, one of which had 5.5k of I rating, and one had 7.2k of I rating, and they dusted me. There was only 3 of us in the race. I think I finished about 50 seconds behind them at Brands Hatch. It was shocking. In the Jetta.
Yes. So I'm just looking at the differences.
Yes. Let's move on.
Sorry, I was doing math in my head, so I wasn't listening to your story, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
I laughed.
So I'm looking. Oh dear, that's not a place you want to be sticking your nose if you want to make friends. As Weeba took the line he was always going to take, and Paul had to think about taking that line away from him. But what I was going to say is I'm looking at the difference between pit stop times. If we're figuring that that Ben and Weeba took full tanks of fuel and will not have to be taking a full tank next time, you can kind of surmise how long Adam's pit stop is going to be next time around, which is going to be roughly, assuming he doesn't take tires, looking at roughly 23 seconds. That's what both Ben and Weeba put in. So if Adam does a 23-second stop, and you figure most of the rest of the cars do what he did the first time, which was around 15 seconds, that's about an 8-second pit delta. And at the moment, he's got that over everybody but Marcus. And Marcus short-filled. He only took 18 seconds of fuel that first time.
No, he did, yes, you're right.
The one thing I'm not certain of is 39 seconds, which is what Paul Burgess did, as he has a look to the inside of Weeba. He'll get the job done here, I'd have to imagine.
The left-hand lane is often faster. We saw that with Foggy.
Yeah. And he sailed it pretty deep into the southern loop.
He did,
Reel it
yeah.
back in to not repeat the mistakes of his teammate Abdul.
Yeah, beautiful line there from Wobbly. I never said that, by the way. Don't ever tell him I said that.
But what I was getting at is 39 seconds seems awfully quick to have changed tires. So I'm not convinced, and I'm sorry for not checking up on this sooner, but most cars in iRacing, most of the GT cars take round about 25 to 30 seconds to change tires. So I could be totally mistaken, and we could have been right all along that Paul and Abdul took tires the first time around, but I'm wondering now if perhaps Ben and Weeba short-filled for track position as Paul's around.
Paul's gone.
He's dropped the wheel at Lukey Heights, looking for a way around wobbly kneecaps.
No quick way around that way.
No, so...
Oh, who's that coming down the hill?
That's his teammate. That's Abdul.
It's Abdul.
Careful here, rejoining.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
Squeeze his teammate a little bit there.
Tense moments. What happened here then? He tried to go around the outside at Lukey Heights.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
wasn't,
think that was going to be an open door, was it?
No, and that's kind of what we were talking about with his incident with Ben earlier, is had Ben tried to give him more room, that's basically where he would have ended up. So it's kind of paints the picture of why Ben might have a case for frustration.
Yep.
Certainly Paul will be frustrated after not being able to find a way around Wobbly, and the list of drivers who have not made a mistake today, by my count, is down to 2. And
who are they?
That would be Marcus Bletz and Wobbly Kneecaps in 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. Floating to the surface still. Good slow-mo, by the way, Sam. Really appreciate that one.
That's, of course, the pro drivers. I think Callum Mooney has been pretty much faultless in his run towards the front of the M-Class field.
I don't really remember Stefan getting
No, I don't
anything.
remember Stefan having any particular trouble either. So just in terms of pro-class drivers. But that promotes both Weeba and Ben up spots and makes it 3 BSTV esports drivers in the top 4.
Yeah, and hot off the, I was going to say press, but we don't have one of those. So it's just the chat on YouTube. Chris says, we were right in saying that he was off pace because of the car and track combo wasn't bonding with him. Tyres felt like they dropped off a cliff after 20 minutes. That's quite quick, isn't it? That's really quick. He couldn't stop the car, and that's what led to his incident. Ooh, where are you going, Paul? Go to Paul, go to Paul. Oh, he saved it. That's good save.
Oh, but he
That's
sailed
good
it
save.
into the southern loop as well. Had to really bail out there.
I was going to say, that was a good save, that. Because he got right out there.
That's
Whoa.
2 3/4 tires on the grass, which is about as many as you'd want.
Yeah, good save. Good car control.
But the problem now for Paul is when as Adam heads to the pit lane, it's going to be a pretty lengthy final stint for Adam. Actually, no, it's been a pretty lengthy second stint for Adam, I should say. In fact, he's done, if I remember correctly, he was in around the 20-minute mark, so he's done almost 45 minutes on this tank of gas. So you wonder if Adam could have stopped this race had he not had his mistake early on there.
Yeah, mathematically that works out, doesn't
sorry,
it?
35 minutes. I've done my math horribly wrong there. And Abdul is in the pit lane, so this, you'd imagine, is the earliest pit opportunity to make it to the end.
No tyres for Adam Wright, I don't think.
Nope, that was fuel only, and that was, what are we looking at? 21 seconds. So then I'm inclined to believe that Paul and Abdul definitely took tires last time around. It must just be a quicker tire stop than I remember.
Yeah, and that will give them, well, will it give them a massive advantage at the end? I don't know that it will.
It'll definitely give them some, but they've really hurt themselves with the mistakes they've made as far as track position goes. They'll be quicker for sure at the end if they haven't scuffed them up too badly, but they'll have to be making significantly larger gaps than they would have liked to.
I'll tell you what, Marcus Pletz, he's doing a good job so far. I don't know where he's going to end up floating out, but he's doing a stand-up job of keeping clean at the minute.
Yeah, we don't do driver of the day for this series, but you'd be hard-pressed not to pick Marcus for this one. I mean, he has been pretty much faultless, and I don't know how the strategy is going to shake out. He's going to have a shorter pit stop than Adam, and he's going to have a few laps here where he's lighter on fuel, but at the same time,
no,
Stefan.
Is that called tyres? Did he swap his tyres?
I don't believe he did. I don't think he's been in the pits for a second time yet. So
no, he hasn't. Sorry, I've got the wrong car.
So perhaps old tires for Stefan, but certainly not cold ones, as Callum Mooney is in.
Yeah, that's your AM race leader.
And he has just been handed a significant advantage with Stefan running wide there.
Of course. That's probably why he chose to pick, because while he's got that gap, he might as well box the car.
But back to what I was saying, there's a decent chance this strategy doesn't work out in the end for Marcus. He was definitely losing time to Adam there pretty quickly, even with the fuel difference, but he's put in a fantastic showing and is definitely not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, there's a little message to Sabine on the side of the VTS cars. I've never been so close as to be able to read it yet, but it says Godspeed Sabine. That's really nice.
Yeah, they've had that for a while. Obviously, an all-German team, or the remaining members in the series are all the German members, and I think frequenters of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, so obviously fans of Sabine. I think they've had that tribute on there for most of the season.
Yeah, they probably have done. I've just never spotted it before. That's really good, guys. I really like that.
So I'm looking at the lap times between Marcus and Adam. And Adam hasn't put in a time since he's been out of the pits, but that last lap wasn't particularly great for Marcus at 25.7. Maybe just starting to feel those tires starting to go a little bit. Wobbly did a 24.9 behind him. Ben a 26.5, so not a very good lap for Ben. And then the two asymmetric drivers were 24.7 and 24.8. So really starting to see the advantage of those tires come into play for the asymmetric drivers.
I don't know why, but I thought I heard screeching tyres just then. But I don't think there's anything on the timing screen, is it? Oh, hang on.
It's Marcel Kempenart.
Oh, dear. He was one of the ones that had no incidents before.
Yeah, that was... looked like he just ran wide through Lukey Heights, which is not the first one we've seen do that.
At least my
he's held up Marcus there.
That's not good. He's not going to like that at all.
No, and even before that, I was mistaken. It wasn't Abdul who had set the 24.8. That was Adam Wright. So clearly, Adam's come out of the pits flying. He is, he's wanting to make a statement and wanting to stake his claim to the lead of this race, I think.
Yeah, last lap round, Paul Burgess did a 24.7, which I think was the fastest lap that time round.
It was. But he's only 10 seconds up the road from Adam and Oza's pit stop. So it's going to need a little more of an advantage than that. A 24.4 will help, for sure. That's a quick lap from Paul there. And what is Adam going to do? A 24/7. So even then, 3/10 is not the kind of deltas that Paul wants to be seeing. As much as those tires will improve later on relative to the field, I think that's going to be a tall order.
Yeah, and fastest lap of the race so far is Paul Burgess, a 1:24 flat, which shows the pace. And Adam Wright, fastest lap so far is a 1:24.06. So there's nothing in it between the two of them. So it really will be interesting to find out where this all pans out to. Marcus still going.
Yeah, he'll, I'd imagine, run till he's out of fuel.
Yeah.
Which will be a little earlier than everyone else, because he stopped a little earlier and put in a little less fuel than everybody. But looking at the gap to Wobbly, about 8 seconds, he should only have round about a 5-second gap between himself and Wobbly in terms of pit stop time. So it'll be close. I think Wobbly will close that down somewhat in the pit cycle, but would expect Marcus to, as it stands right now, hang on to that second place once everything cycles through.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And just looking through some other bits. Stefan currently the top AM car, but he owes us a pit stop over Callum Mooney. Barry van Englenhoven in AM hasn't pitted yet first. No, he hasn't pitted yet for a second time, but Yaz Not Yaz has. I do like that purple fade into yellow in their VTS thing. I do like their paints, you know. Have you noticed?
Yeah, we've already had this discussion today. Personally, I prefer Marcus's all red. I think that just works really well with the skin.
Go to Marcus. It's more important. Oh, he's in the pits.
He's in the pits.
Hey, nice timing.
So 25 minutes to go or so. Now, we'll be definitely watching the gap to Adam here, because that is the real battle for the lead once everything shakes out. And Adam's already rounding the second to last corner. He is on a charge, Adam, right? I think he wants to make everyone forget about that little first lap incident.
Yeah, it wasn't such a drama, was it? But he did hit the wall, so I thought his race was done. So he's done well here.
He will be well clear of Stefan. So clearly, Marcus, excuse me.
Yeah.
Clearly, Marcus hampered by. We saw him hampered by some lap traffic on that stint, and perhaps just not able to get as much out of the tires this stint that as Adam was.
Yeah, and that's Yaz Not Yaz temporarily unlapping himself from Marcus. And there he lets him through. Not his race, so fair enough. Marcus comes out in 5th place. He is the second car in line to Adam Wright that has pitted for a second time. The 2 cars behind them and the 3 cars in front of them have not pitted yet.
And it's Paul Burgess on Ben Cullen once again.
Oh, he has caught him, then.
Yeah, we've seen how this has played out before.
Obviously, Paul's going to try and undercut him.
Yeah, and that might be a wise choice given how their situation ended last time.
Let's see what happens here, then. He's already taken tyres, hasn't he? So he doesn't need to do that.
Right, exactly, which is why he's been able to reel Ben back in. Now, if you're Ben here, you're stopping the next time around, I'd have to believe. As Stefan is in the pits for his final stop.
You'd think he would try and limit the undercut as much as possible, wouldn't you?
Exactly, yeah. And we know Ben and Wobbly extended the stint significantly, so they're really not going to have to take much fuel at all.
It's already out. That wasn't a long stop at all.
No, it was 13 seconds, which is even quicker than Adam's first stop. Rather, he's come out behind Adam though, as expected.
He's come out behind Marcus as well.
Yes, somewhat substantially. Obviously, his spin down from Lukey Heights didn't help that.
Yeah, that's true. Because Marcus has had the clean race. He's not been off track and done some gardening and landscaping, so
Yeah.
he's got that time to play with at the moment.
So Wobbly's gone around again. What does Ben do here? He is going around as well. Nope,
no,
sorry,
he's
he's
not.
tucking into the pits.
Yep.
So this time he does listen to my suggestions. Good pit entry there from Ben.
It did look very good.
Now this will be a short stop
Ooh.
for him.
Did you see on the onboard he had a creased up front bumper?
Yeah, he's had that pretty much the whole race, I think.
Oh, has he? Right, okay.
Yeah. There
And
goes Adam.
Adam, yep.
So
Here's
watching the pit times,
Paul.
Paul was in the stall for 13 seconds. Ben for 9.9. So a 4-second difference. That will be all down to Ben saving fuel in that first stint.
Yeah, that's crazy good. Well, go on. Can we go on board with him again and see if he used a fast repair to get rid of his bonnet crease? He did.
Yep.
Yeah, good. So he's got a clean car to finish the race with.
And he's got a 4-second advantage over Paul as it stands right now.
Yeah, I wonder if those tyres will start kicking in at some point.
For sure they will. Paul will reel that back in, but with 22 minutes to go, it's not totally out of the question that he could hold that. Ben could hold that position to the end of the race.
Yeah, you'd expect Wobbly in soon as well, wouldn't you? Really?
Well,
maybe not. Maybe not.
No, he's had the clean air. He's not worried about the undercut from everybody. You know, he's going to fall behind Adam, I would think here, and he's going to potentially fall behind Marcus as well. But he's had clean air. He hasn't had much traffic to deal with. He doesn't have to worry about anyone jumping him on the undercut. He had a pretty solid gap back to Ben, I think. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I would think Wobbly runs it till it's dry, which will be another 10 minutes or so from here.
Yeah. So we're approaching the 1 hour 10-minute mark. So 21 minutes to go of this race.
Yeah, and Ben's pit time, total pit lane time was a 36:22. Wobbly has a 22-second gap over Adam, so Adam will be well clear. But Marcus Bletz is just about 32 seconds behind the race leader as it stands right now. So with some quick laps here from Wobbly, he's within striking distance of Marcus Bletz, I would say. And of course, he has the advantage as well of running on a lower tank of fuel than Marcus. And
Yes.
in these GTE cars, that's it really is significant.
It is. It's funny. It's like you've got weight ballast in your car when you pit your car. The amount of time difference after a pit stop. Just to talk about the AM class, Callum Mooney is your race leader at the moment. He's already pitted for a second time and are already leading over Stefan Goebel by 16 seconds, who is in second at the moment, who has pitted as well. We've moved to Ben because, oh right, here we go. I'll stop talking about, oh well, no. Third place is Barry Van Englenhoven in that Ford that we were saying might be a little bit disadvantaged around here because of the sharp corners. But he's way, way, way back. So we'll now focus on these two.
Yeah, and Paul really reeled in Ben quickly there, unsurprisingly with the tire difference there. Would imagine that makes Paul's job a little bit easier as well, certainly than it was last time with Ben finding a way around. Paul, you can see, just has a grip advantage there. He's looking to the inside, which will become the outside into Honda.
Well, Ben's kept his line.
Yep.
And then holds
missed the braking point. Paul
did.
crosses him over.
Yeah.
That's job done for Paul Burgess.
And that's the advantage of better tyres, isn't it? Ben's gave up when Paul's were able to hold out.
Yeah, that's 40-minute fresher tires.
Yeah.
At work there. There's no other way to slice it, I don't think.
What we got going on here? Marco Loertz has found himself a Barry Van Englenhoven. Not for class honours, These two are in different classes, as you can see by the coloured banners, number plates, and wing end plates. But points are paid on position here, not on where you finish in your class. So this will be what Marco's after, that place in front of him to get more points.
Yeah, and every position counts, as you said. It's, Marco racing for pro honors still needs to pass these AM cars to get maximum points, and you really want to take advantage of days like these when you've got a small grid and there's lots of points up for grabs.
Absolutely. And on the chat has told me what his percentages were on his tyres, or told us all, but I'm not going to voice that in case any of the racers are listening, because it's a number that really shouldn't be shared.
Yeah, he's got a pretty comfortable 5th place at the moment. Callum Mooney is a decent ways down the road, but...
that's true, yeah.
But there's still about, 16 minutes of racing to go. It's 9 seconds back, and Ben has been, I don't know how else to put it, but slow. So I don't think that race is over yet. And Abdul is not all that far behind Callum either. So I'd say Ben needs to get on his horse a bit if he wants to hang on to a top 5.
Yeah. And Wobbly's still out front, still not pitted.
Yeah, he, as we suspected, he's going to run this till it's dry, which should last him about 5 more minutes. And he'll definitely have a short pit stop. Pit lane travel time is round about 25 seconds or so. So you figure a couple seconds of fuel, he'll be slotting in somewhere. At this point, I would guess ahead of Marcus. Adam's been able to kind of put the pedal down and gap Marcus. Marcus has just been falling off a little bit. So I think Wobbly's in good shape to make it a BSTV 1-2, assuming he doesn't speed on pit entry.
Sorry, I've just read a message from Chris saying, can he protest his car? That's brilliant. It's funny stuff. This is a little battle still brewing here. Marco still not managed to get past Barry van Englenhoven. Here's Wobbly. Into MG. I think it's called MG. I need to look at a track map.
It's all Lukey Heights to me. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's not. It's technically a different corner, but really, it's all one and the same. You're setting up for that corner as you go through Lukey Heights.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a much funner name to say. So, whoa, Ben, or is that Adam?
Hey. No, that's Adam. Yeah.
It is Adam. Yeah. Really sailing it into Lukey Heights.
And you can do that as long as you've got not got any other cars around you.
Exactly. Yeah. That's when you're too wide. That's when that becomes a bit more dangerous. And Wobbly in the pits.
No, not yet. No,
Sorry.
I don't think so. My screen's not saying he is anyway.
No, he's not. And Ben's
what?
had an issue there. I think he must have had a mistake in Siberia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just ran wide.
Good save though.
It's cost him 2 spots though to Callum and Abdul.
That's a shame.
And we already know his tires are a bit on the fritz, so he's in danger of losing some more, I think.
It's not him again, is it?
No, that's Adam again in behind Barry and Mark.
I thought Ben had gone wide again for a second time.
I'm not sure, but Adam threw on Marco now to put him a lap down. And Adam is not totally safe from Wobbly here. He should come out reasonably ahead, as Ben is going to have to change tires here. But there's a non-zero possibility that Wobbly could make something happen here with Adam. So Adam really needs to get the message to Barry to get through, and he does indeed.
That places these two back where they were.
Yes, it does.
Although Marco looks a lot... Oh, right, hang on. That's not part of the script, is it? Barry going in. Oh, no, yeah, he owes us a pit stop.
Yeah, so he'll give up third and am to do it, but it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody's one stopping this race, we know for sure. It looks, though, like he may hold on to third ahead of Yaz.
I think that's going to be quite tight.
It's going to be pretty close. Although,
no, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
Barry's
not.
already rolling, and Yaz just coming out of the final corner.
It's because it's such a short final stop, isn't it? That's the point.
Yes, it is. And it's not over by any means, but he's got a decent gap over Yaz. So when is Wobbly in? It's got to be in the next lap or two, you figure.
Well, we've only got about 12 minutes left of the whole race. So.
Yeah, and it's now.
Here we go.
In the pit lane. So where is Adam Wright? He's 24 seconds back.
Oh no! What's he done?
Oh, he's spun it. He's locked the rear tires. Well, that's victory for Adam Wright. That's going to be an unsafe pit entry for Wobbly, which will drop him further out of contention.
Is that a 26 or a 40-second hold?
Depends on the track, but I think it'll be 40 seconds.
Yeah, I do as well.
So we'll get a better angle here. Is he on the grass or does he just lock it up?
I think he's just going to lock it. Yeah, he's just locked it. Too late onto the brakes.
Yeah, coming in too hot. Pulled.
Don't need that cone.
A bit too far back and just locked the rears. So it will not be a three-peat for Wobbly at Phillip Island.
No. Although he is out already.
He's come out right in front of Marcus Bletz.
He can't have got a penalty.
No, he must not have. I don't know. Maybe because he basically crossed the timing line as he was sideways.
Because he didn't go onto the grass until after he got the cone.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Lucky boy.
I know. But this is the fight for second.
Yeah, this is everybody.
Yeah, Ben, of course, a lap down here. Not in contention with these two.
Ben's putting in, like, race-leading sector times at the moment, which is...
Well, he will have fresh tires and no fuel, so, yeah. And he'll be trying to help Wobbly here by putting some pressure on Marcus.
I feel like I've watched 10 different races because everybody's got a different story in this one.
Yeah. And now you can pretty safely say that Marcus is the only driver who's driven this whole race without incident that we've seen, at least. Of the pro class again. Sorry, Callum Mooney. So this should be Ben through on Weba. And I don't know if Marcus knows that Ben is on fresh tires, but he'd be wise to let him through here. Although you'd imagine Ben will not fight Wobbly as hard as he's fighting Marcus. Marcus's best chance is probably to hope that he does.
Yeah. And AAA is closing in on Callum, which is the car in front of the car in front.
Yeah, it's definitely a race of what could have been for AAA. I mean, he's been quick all day, but those couple of costly mistakes at the Southern Loop have put him in a position where he might not even finish in the top 5 if he can't get by his teammate in the next 10 minutes or so.
Oh, what's going on here?
So Ben's gotten through on Wobbly, and all of a sudden Marcus is right there.
Better line through there from Wobbly.
Now these guys will both be on very old tires, and Wobbly roasted them on the way into the pits. So
He did, yeah. It's a good term, roasted his tyres. I like that. Brian says, great comeback from Adam considering his issue in turn 2. You're not wrong, he's got a 15-second lead at the minute.
it's almost as though he, by taking himself out of the drama in the battling pack, he's set himself up well here.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Marcus dropped back a little bit, but that Porsche is a bit more dynamic in the corners, isn't it? So chances are he'll pull up again in about a lap's time and have another pop at Wobbly.
Oh, that's
Callum.
Mooney. So one of our trouble-free races has had some trouble in the Southern Loop.
And that's
Same
Yaz
story.
behind him. Where's Stefan in all this? Oh, he's not far behind him. In fact, he's catching him. Oh, he has.
Same story, 17th verse. And that's Stefan through.
Yeah.
So Stefan into the M-Class lead. What a day for Stefan Goebel.
That's another bag full of points for Stefan. He's going to be happy about. Callum, not so much. He's really crawling around now. He's got a lot of damage at the front of that Porsche. You can see his shopping in the top of it there, look.
Yeah, that's not going to help him, that's for sure.
I think he'll have to pit. I mean, there's 6 minutes left, but I know that these cars and you can they spear off at random angles when you've got damage like that.
There's no way he's pitting at this point. We've seen other guys go into the barriers. Oh, well.
I can be right, at least once a year, apparently.
One for the record books, I guess.
Yeah.
I was thinking with the advantage he had, you want to kind of claim those points, but if it's not driving right, yeah, you might as well come in, take the fast repair. If you don't take fuel and tires, it'll be a quick stop as well.
Just be a stop and go, won't it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how much gap he had over Marco Lewert coming into the pits, but he might be able to hold on to 7th place, actually.
You'd want to hope he'd turned his fuel and tires off. He hasn't. Oh,
I wonder if that's an unsafe pit entrance because he was fast.
He was fast. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought Wobbly was quicker. He was traveling sideways, but.
So there's Marco. He'll come through on Callum.
Yep.
There's not a chance it's an incident point issue, is it?
Oh.
Especially with Callum, you would think.
Let me have a look.
No, I'm not showing anyone close to it on my screen. Ben Cullen set the fastest lap of the race.
I'm showing one person close. I'm not going to say who it is, just in case. Oh, now I've got that on my screen and I can't see anything else now. There we go. Fastest lap of the race. Send Cullen.
Did just mention that, yep.
Sorry.
I think he's the only driver into the 23s in the race.
He is?
Yes, he is. Obviously, new tires and low fuel will help. But we know Ben had pace today. I mean, he ran up front pretty much the whole race. The overcooking his tires certainly didn't help his cause, but...
True. He got help in his incident, or his first incident. Here's Adam.
Very similar looking cars.
Yeah. Had to do a double take.
Yep. 3.5 minutes from a race win here. Hopefully you put enough fuel in it.
Side sills on that thing. You could get a family of 4 to stand on there, couldn't you?
Yeah. With a 15-second gap, though, I think if he didn't put enough fuel in, he could afford to save at this point.
Yeah. And really, given the fact that Wobbly didn't qualify particularly high up, he's kept his car pretty clean, apart from doing a sideways entry into pit lane.
He's kept it on the track. Oh no, Marcus!
Whoa!
No!
No! Get back on. There we go.
But he's lost a spot to Paul
Ah,
Burgess
man.
and dropped himself off the podium, unfortunately. Those tires clearly suffering on that Porsche.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out exactly what percentage they are down to, whether it's single digits or not.
Honestly, it's pretty impressive what Adam's been able to do when you look at the other Porsches who have run up front. What their tire situation has been like. Everybody's struggling, and Adam's still putting in. I mean, the 25.9 isn't anything to write home about, but at this point, when you've got everybody else, either in Ben's case pitting for tires or Marcus running wide, that's pretty impressive, especially considering he was pushing for the entirety of the first and second stints to make that undercut work.
Yeah, it's an impressive drive, it has to be said. Here we are with Ben again. Closing in on the back of Marco Lewert very, very quickly, as you'd absolutely expect. Marco going either a bit defensive or just a bit careful around that corner on his used tyres. But Ben has taken 8/10 out of him in 1.5 turns. That's quite an overspeed, isn't it?
That's what an hour and a half fresher tires will do.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben.
What are you doing? You don't really want to go into Lukey Heights, do you? With a car that's got dubious traction.
No.
And where's the next car ahead of him? 40 odd seconds. So
so this is the only position that Ben is focused on at this point.
Yeah.
Now, did Adam get the white flag? Is he getting it this time through? Yep, there it is.
There we go.
Emphatic wave from the flagman.
Yeah. He must have the strongest right arm in the world. Maybe less than Clyde, but that's for a different reason.
Ben is through on Marco, by the way.
And unless he's got a DeLorean, he's not going to catch Stefan, that's for sure.
No, I don't think he will. And with Callum's trouble, Stefan is well clear in the AM class lead, and actually, with a couple of pro cars between him and second and AM, he'll pick up some nice points from this week for sure.
Yeah, massive shame that Callum had such a heavy impact. He'd done a great job in the race, so up to that point.
Down through Lukey Heights for the last time for Adam. Only a couple of corners to go. No pressure from behind. Taking it nice and easy through here.
He's going very, very slow.
Yeah, but he's on throttle. Maybe he wants to let Ben unlap himself.
Oh dear, that's
Some
funny.
team coordination there.
There
Flash of
we
the
go.
headlights. And a race win for Adam Wright.
There's a
Paul
tactic in there somewhere.
Paul
Sorry.
nearly got to Weeba there at the end. He was
Oh yeah,
flying
1.5
obviously
seconds.
as everyone's tires were fading, but not quite enough. So he'll claim third.
Blake coming round to take 5th. Marcus having already crossed the line. We were here once before, weren't we, where somebody ran out of fuel before they finished the race. I can't remember who that was now. I think it was in a V8, actually. So Stefan finishing first for AM. That was Yaz, I think, crossing the line. Here comes Ben. Oh, he's still halfway around the lap at the moment.
Making us wait.
He's already got fastest lap, so this one must be just for show.
Formation flying there from the top 2, top 3.
Yeah, good day at work for the two BSTV boys at the front end.
Absolutely. I'm sure Adam will be quite pleased with that one.
Well, was he absolutely last after the second turn? I don't think he was quite, was he? Oh no, he might have been.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah. A race of exciting events. Some questionable bits and pieces along the way, but that's what you get with GTE races. And Phillip Island delivers again, because even with a shortened field, it was quite a dramatic race. I'll go through the finishing order, and you can save your voice for the interviews. Your race winner tonight was Adam Wright for BSTV Esports Yellow. He led home his kind of teammate, Wobbly Kneecaps, who was second for BSTV Esports. In third was Paul Burgess for Asymmetric. For VTS Red, Marcus Bletz finished fourth. And fifth was Abdul Alamri for Asymmetric. Your first AM driver was Stefan Goebel, a fantastic victory in that class in sixth overall for VTS Yellow. Ben Cullen finished seventh for BSTV Esports Yellow. Marco Lewert for VTS Red again finished in eighth place. Second in class in AM was Callum Mooney after that unfortunate coming together with the wall at Southern Loop, who finished ninth overall for Amsymmetric. And then Barry van Anglenhoven in 10th for Dutchie's Bravo. Yaz Samai finished 11th for Amsymmetric. And then Marcel Kempenaar finished in 12th for Dutchie's Charlie. And then the non-finishers, 42 laps down, was Chris Shaw in 13th for BSTV Esports Green. For Team Black Diamond, also 42 laps down, was Colin McAllister in 14th. And JVZ, Joachim van Zuylen, for Paceworks Esport Holland, quit out early on, actually, and finished 15th and last. Quite a dramatic race, Tyler. Any standout moments for you?
Just a few. Well, certainly Wobbly's spin on pit entry was the most dramatic.
Clearly, yeah, I'd agree with that one.
But you know, that's only because so many people went wide on the southern loop that it just got a bit repetitive, you know. But
yeah.
Incidents galore, but some really good racing as well. Really pretty fantastic battles. Lots of movement up and down, which makes these races exciting for us, and it was a fun one to watch.
It was fantastic to watch. We're going to get on with the interviews now, and I'm going to bring in for you the first one, Tyler, which is going to be Adam Wright, our race winner. So over to you, Tyler.
Hello, Adam.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Sounds like you're standing in a wind tunnel, but nice to talk to you.
Yeah, that's fun. I need that on today.
So first to last to first, which is probably the best way to do it, because you get points for the pole, and then you get to make it exciting for the viewers at home.
Well, I've been watching Tice, and it is just so boring watching him win from the front. So I mixed it up, made a tit of myself, and yeah, just got my head down, really.
Yeah, and you know, we were kind of watching you all the way through on your recovery drive, because it was clear from the start you had pace, and clear from qualifying as well. Seemed to be that you almost benefited from taking yourself out of the battles at the front, because by the end of it, everyone had some sort of issue battling with somebody else towards the front, and you really, aside from sailing it into turn one, just kind of, as you said, put your head down and ran a clean, fast race to the end.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's all you can do at that point. I took the pit stop as soon as I could, so I didn't get caught up in traffic. And yeah, luckily I heard people were getting involved in incidents and that, because obviously, well, Ben was up there right at the front, so yeah, he's in the chat letting me know what's going on. But yeah, I to be honest, I didn't really race anyone. You know, I passed a few cars straight after the incident, and then I was in a bit of a gap of no man's land, and I just literally just focused on every lap. I wasn't looking at gaps, just do as fast as I can, and then it'll work itself out. And yeah, Wobbly gave me a bit of a scare there at the end, but yeah, he was a fool trying to go for the one stopper anyway.
Well, even if he didn't go for the one stopper, we were watching his your gap back to him was going to be awfully close had he not made a fool of himself on pit entry. So I'm sure you were being kept aware of that. Were you stressed at all with him or with Marcus, or was it really just kind of calm, cool, and collected in that final stint?
Yeah, no, I wasn't worried too much about Marcus because here's the one car I did have to pass on track and I pulled away, so I felt pretty confident I had him covered. But with Wobbly fuel saving, I thought his tyres were probably going to be in better shape. So if he come up behind me and started pushing me, I'd probably have. I wouldn't have put too much of a fight. I'd rather have a good result for the team. So.
Well, and meant to ask about tires because obviously Ben's were so bad he had to pit. We saw Marcus really struggling towards the end of the race. You were really the only one who made the one set of tires work all the way to the end. So what was the secret on that, and how bad were they by the end of the race?
No idea, because I just kept pushing and pushing. So I'm surprised they fared better than Ben's did at our second stop. But I forgot to check at the end. But they weren't too bad. It's just the last, say, 10 laps. Then I started losing a lot of time. It's the second to last corner. I just couldn't get the drive out. So yeah, it went all right. I didn't do any tyre saving. I don't know how I managed it, but it worked.
And of course, the final important question is, how much did Ben pay you to let him through at the last corner?
We're teammates. We help each other out. I don't know if he benefited from it. I don't know, but
don't say that because then I'm gonna have to lower my rates. But anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
As always, just everyone at BSTV, you guys for putting on the show. All the drivers, Wobbly in particular. We were messing around in practice on this for a few days, so pushing each other along. It was good fun.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your win, Adam Wright, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Oh, right then. I'm gonna. Hang on. I can't press buttons apparently. I'm gonna take on Wobbly kneecaps now. Wobbly, nice pit entry tactics. I've never used them. Didn't look that effective.
Yeah, well, you should try it. I mean, this is the best way to do it.
Right.
And,
okay. Backwards.
Yeah, backwards, and then so if you forget what button your pit limiter is on whilst driving to the pit, then just press the brake really hard, then you spin, and then you hope that you don't get a penalty for an unsafe entry, and then you're doing fine.
Awesome stuff. We were saying there's not many people who've been around the track and not had any incidents. Oh, and there he goes. There's one of them straight away. So yeah, that was entertaining. You tried to one-stop it, did you?
Yeah, I did, and well, I tried to. I thought it was on the right track, but then halfway through,
You realise you're at Silverstone?
I realized that I had to do like 4 laps extra. That meant that I should have gone like I think 3 seconds slower than I was driving, and that wouldn't be enough. So basically, halfway. I just like, oh well, I just gun it, and I knew I was gonna get a short stop. So I actually rewatched the incident, and it was 15 seconds or something before which I lost. So I would have been right up the back of Adam.
Right.
Could have been fun, but yeah, I'm stupid. And apparently a midget, according to Ben.
Yeah, he was saying that someone had nicked your stilts, but there you go. Otherwise, a very professionally driven race, to be honest. We saw you in some close quarter company with Paul Burgess at one point, but his fresher tyres meant that he could drive past you, but he didn't finish ahead of you. He finished one place behind you. A very dramatic race for not a massive field, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Adam went off, which basically he said before in the warm-up lap. Adam, think about it. I have low friction pedals, low friction brakes, and then he went off on the first corner. So, well, I didn't laugh, but well, of course I did.
Yeah.
But he was
Like,
really
tears.
fast, man. I could not catch up.
No, okay.
He was really good.
No, great racing tonight, and a very handy second place. It's going to take you a small but not insignificant miracle to get into the top 5 in the league. But it's about racing the races, though, isn't it? It's the taking part and the enjoyment of just ignoring the football more than anything else. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, first of all, you guys, show is great as always. Second of all, I want to congratulate Adam. I mean, he did a really good job, and I think that wasn't. No, wait, this is bullshit. And that wasn't a foul. So I'm checking the football, obviously. So I want to thank those guys for bringing up the show. And, no, messing around. But thanks to you all, and it was a really fun race to drive. And yeah, obviously I don't participate a lot in this specific league, but still good fun though.
That's excellent. In that case, congratulations on your second place tonight. Wobbly kneecaps.
Right, cheers.
Cool. Right then, where are we going next? We're going to Marcus next. Do you want Marcus or do you want Ben? Marcus or Ben?
I'll take Marcus.
You'll take Marcus. Okay then. This should be Marcus if I press the right buttons.
Hi.
Hello, Marcus. Really,
Yeah.
fantastic drive from you today. We were talking all day how you seem to be pretty much the only one who kind of kept it clean all race.
Yeah,
and-
until the end.
Yeah, a little slip up there at the end that let Paul get through, but a pretty stellar drive from you. I'm guessing based on what we've heard from the other Porsche drivers, it was all about managing the tires.
Yeah, that was the key, I guess. Front right was gone at the end of the race. I think we just discussed it in the interview room. I think that's just because of the lot of lockups that happened in certain places, and I think that killed the tires because Adam was also saying that his tires were quite good and it didn't had a lot of lockups, so that might be the key.
Yeah, certainly a major factor there. Obviously, most of the front runners going for that no tire change strategy.
Okay.
You included. Was it difficult out there? Obviously, we saw lots of people making mistakes in the southern loop and running into each other, but was it well? Compared to that, you seem to make it look a little bit easy.
Yeah, it was not easy. There are, I think, 2 or 3 corners where it's really easy to lose the car because especially on the hilly section, if you go up, there is a section where you just oversteer the car and it's gone. Sometimes you have a quick oversteer again, so it's really tricky. And at the start there were a lot of guys spinning around, and I was a little bit too conservative there. But it was good fun. Yeah, it was really an exciting race, and first time after a long time I'm back in top 5.
Yeah, really standout performance, I think. Did you have anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, to my team, MTS, and to all of you, because I think you are in a hurry to look for the England game. So let's make it short. And it was good fun. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast and everything. And see you guys.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about any of us.
No, we hate football.
But,
Okay.
Congratulations, nonetheless, on your 4th place finish, Marcus Blitz.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Bye.
Cool. Right then, I get the dubious pleasure of interviewing Sen Cullen. Good evening, Sen. How are you doing?
Evening, Peter.
Sunday names. So, without swearing, the controversial event of your race, despite the fact that you recovered to 7th place, started brilliantly, obviously had masses of pace, did the fastest lap, without swearing, your controversial event in the race. Oh, right, okay. That says everything I need to know.
No, it's I haven't seen the replay with regards to Triple A's move. I don't know if I moved left or if I was in a straight line or if he drifted out. I don't know what happened. So I'm not going to comment on it. Obviously, it's motorsport. Some things like that happen, and it is what it is. I didn't come off too bad in terms of damage or anything like that. I'm just more annoyed that Adam didn't tell me the strategy and that tyres would be a nightmare.
Yeah, you were saying on the chat, I didn't share it with anybody who was potentially racing, but you said they were down at 20%.
Yeah, they were kind of low after the first stop, so I knew I was going to be in for a torrid time afterwards. And then when I came out, I was like, this is going to be a fun half hour. And then you came on to me when I was like, did the slowest of slow spins. I don't even think you can go slow-mo on the spin. And the car just wouldn't turn left. And then after that corner, it came up with a meatball on the screen. I was like, I've not hit anything. So I got
So
tyre failure.
your tyres got to 0. I've never known that.
Yeah, it must have done. It came
Have
up
you
with
ever
a
had
meatball.
that, Tyler?
No, but I've seen it happen before.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so it can happen. I'd like to be a guinea pig.
Crazy.
And then just chuck tyres on and just see what could happen. And I saw that I was closing in on Marco, and it was just a case of could I get in before the end of the race to get a position back. Obviously, with a lot of the guys not racing tonight, it was an opportunity to get some points. And I've already missed a round or two with work, so I can't afford any more drop rounds. So but it was good. It was good for Adam to get the win, especially after his wobbly-like start. And obviously Wobbly drove very well in his bus as well.
Yeah. He's done a good job with that. The only other BMW came second off last, so he's obviously made that work. And a good recovery from yourself, and given the fact that you had 20% tyres. Oh, well, it'll be less than that by the time you got to the end. It'll be 0, of course.
3 pit stops.
Yeah, and 3 pit stops and still finishing 7th and 6th overall in class. You can't grumble too much, I don't suppose. It's just one of those things that you learn from us, I'm guessing. Any other standout moments for you before we get you to do your thanks to the world?
No, not really. It was good for the people that turned up, and it was good that there was a lot of close racing and looked good on the broadcast that I could see. I would like to know though, who keeps stats? Do we keep the stats? Can we work out if our team was more productive without Tyler racing, or were we better when Tyler was racing?
As a challenge to all viewers everywhere, we need to prove that the BSTV esports team is more productive without Tyler.
Yeah, go to your painting job, Tyler. Take those eyebrows with you. Right. Thank you a lot for you guys putting on the broadcast, for Sam doing all the work behind the scenes, because he's the one that does all the work. Cheers for Pete for getting up his time. Tyler, you were just a bad Pete tonight. You don't deserve any thanks. Thanks for all the sponsors and all the drivers that are in the race.
In that case, thank you very much. Sen Cullen. He's gone. Oh dear, that's hilarious. Right, okay. Fascinating and fantastic race. Even with a depleted field tonight, we saw lots and lots of action. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it absolutely brilliant. Great racing tonight, Tyler.
Yeah, really excellent stuff, and really kept us on our toes for the whole hour and a half. It kind of wasn't clear till really the very end how things were going to really shake out, and it shook out well for Adam Wright, who claims his first, I believe, overall win in the series. Is that right?
I think it is.
Yeah, so really excellent effort on his part, and a 1-2 for BSTV, which is always fun.
Good night for BSTV, really, when you think about the overall. I don't have anything else to say about this one. It was really good. Next time out, we are at. Hang on. What? Oh, I've pressed the wrong button, silly boy. Next time out, we're at Le Mans for a late afternoon race. That's round 10. Round 11 will be Sebring in the middle of September, and then Daytona in round 12 in October. So yes, some good tracks still to come. We are out again on Wednesday, where I will be crashing. Where am I crashing at? Anybody know? I can't even remember.
I should, but I don't.
No, it's in. I'll be crashing in a TCR anyway in the GT4 TCR League. So join us on Wednesday to see me embarrass myself again. Next Sunday we are racing ITCR, which I'll be racing in, and Clyde will be commentating on. I think anyway, and that'll be a dramatic race as well.
That'll be at Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix! I've not driven there for ages. It's gonna be good.
As I can see, Pete, the next GT4 TCR is at LRP, which probably means
yeah, it's Lime Rock.
rip
Rock. Oh yeah.
So
that's curtains for me because I crash around there every time in different places. So join us for those races. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube, and on what's the other one? Facebook. Cheers. And I will see you next time round. And I will say goodbye now and let the others say goodbye, starting with Tyler. And I wish you a very safe week till Wednesday.
Yep. See everybody. Thanks for watching.
and good night, everybody. See you Wednesday.